are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. Purport: there are 8.4 million species of living beings, beginning from the highest intellectual being, Brahma, down to the insignificant ant, and all of them are enjoying the material world according to the desires of the subtle mind and gross material body. The gross material body is based on the conditions of the subtle mind, and the senses are created according to the desire of the living being. The Lord, as Paramatma, helps the living being to get material happiness because the living being is helpless in all respects in obtaining what he desires. He proposes and the Lord disposes. In another sense, the living beings are parts and parcels of the Lord. They are therefore one with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, the living beings in all varieties of bodies have been claimed by the Lord as his sons. The sufferings and enjoyments of the sons are indirectly the sufferings and enjoyments of the father. Still, the father is not in any way affected directly by the suffering and enjoyment of the sons. He is so kind that he constantly remains with the living being as Paramatma and always tries to convert the living being towards real happiness. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminithi Namani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. असौगुणमय भावेर भूता सूक्ष्मेन्द्रियात्म भी swanirmiteshu nirvishto bhungte bhuteshu tadgunan. Translation again: the super soul enters into the bodies of the created beings who are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. Here we see an example of how through Veda we are being enlightened, how this material body and mind are working. We cannot know on our own. In a factory, everyone has a different function. There will be different machines. So someone will know their function. But the overall process will be the factory manager whose office is above, looking down at everything. He can see something is going wrong. He can see the whole picture. So we cannot. We are in this material world. We cannot see. But through Shastra, everything is revealed. If we come here, if we are able to come to the point of reaching the Vedic knowledge, then we'll be fully enlightened. Here we are seeing how material nature, even the material nature, is working under Krishna. This material nature may pose as very attractive, but only to one who is not attracted by Krishna. When we are not attracted, because we have to be attracted by something, then we are forcibly made to be attracted to this material nature if we are not attracted by Krishna. But this material nature is not attractive. Then what makes it attractive? Krishna. He'll, and through his material energies, make us get attracted to this material nature, which is not attractive, because we have to be attracted to something. So one who is not attracted by Krishna, to him this seems like the factual reality. This is the reality. This is the factual way that things are going on. That I am in this body. This world is the truth. And this body, and happiness comes when the body interacts with the matter, this matter. So that seems real. And his whole life, his whole plan will be based on this relative reality. It's not the absolute reality, it's a relative reality. So he'll be based on trying to acquire happiness through the body and this world, which is not real, but it seems like it. So this mood has to be created by Krishna. Otherwise, how can the jiva, who is a spiritual being, associate in any way with this material nature? Asangohyam purusha. The purusha, the soul, has nothing to do with the material creation, this material world. There is no link. He cannot enjoy it. He cannot be involved here. He, just like pure souls, they'll come here, live and act, but not be attracted. Actually, soul cannot be attracted by matter, cannot even use it. It has nothing to do with it. But that is Krishna's energy that makes it like that. So the jiva, only if he is not attracted by Krishna, then he'll be attracted by this material nature. Now, how that process is working is given in this verse. It says here that the super soul enters into the body of the created beings who are influenced by the modes of material nature. We are given the body. Body is made to act in certain ways. And then the super soul, he'll give the enjoyment and suffering. Actually, there is no enjoyment. There is no suffering also. It's just that there is no relation between matter and soul. But the jiva, the soul, super soul, he'll give that apparent suffering or enjoyment to the jiva. So how does the super soul do that? It's explained here that he enters into the bodies and he it's subtle mind by the modes, effects of these modes by the subtle mind. So the mind is close to the soul. Mind and intelligence are closest to the soul. In fact, when people are deluded, they think they are the mind and they hover on that mental platform. So through the mind, the jiva gets some kind of happiness or sadness which Krishna gives. When in actual fact, that matter is not giving that happiness or sadness. The matter cannot do anything. Effect cannot affect the soul. In the same way, for example, that if somebody is, no, we'll put it in a different way, that inside the mind, there's so many thoughts. So those thoughts are coming from Maya at the moment. They're not coming from us, they're not coming. Maya is causing us to enjoy. So actually Maya is Krishna, Maya is Krishna's energy. So Krishna, or let's say Maya, is pulling so many thoughts how we'll enjoy the body and the mind. And when we try to enjoy, then we perceive it as some happiness. But happiness, like if you see actually like water, when people go for a swim, it's pleasurable in the summer. But the same water, no one will go in winter. That's suffering. So is the water suffering or is it pleasurable? It's not. It's nothing. It's water. It's Krishna's separated energy. But because the super soul is inside and we are conditioned souls, thinking we are this body, so Krishna has he's creating the scene for our material enjoyment. So he'll cause us to suffer and enjoy with that water, when actually there's no factual enjoyment. So in this way, the super soul is supporting what we want. He's apparently giving suffering or pain for those jivas who are not attracted by Krishna. So now we are in the middle of this, and for one who is immersed in this material world, in this material body, trying to enjoy, how can he come out? In one way you can say it's very difficult, impossible to come out. How will we come out? We're in the middle of illusion, you're in the middle of a dream. How do you know it's a dream? Sometimes we're dreaming, we know it's a dream, but that's a rare case. Generally we're in the dream, we're in the middle. Now how do you come out? So the way to come out will be someone who is not in that dream to wake you up, or some external source. So the person who is not attracted by this Maya, who sees everything clearly, he can take us out. Well, we can say Krishna can take us out, but he won't do it personally. He'll send his representatives. Why do we say that we have to take shelter of a pure soul to come out of Maya? to practice bhakti. Because, what do we say, that Tattva Darshina, the pure soul, he sees the truth. What is that last line? Upatikshanti de jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. So there it's translated that the pure soul, he sees the truth, so he can show you. If you're sometimes seen like a forest and you see something, we're telling someone, look at that. What is it? I don't see. Look at that. No, I can't see. See that green tree? Yeah. Next to the rock? Yeah. What is that? Oh, I see. Yeah. So someone has seen it, then he can show someone. Then he can show someone else because he's seen. So someone has seen, this is the truth. I don't understand. No, it's like this, it's like that. Actually, this is not the truth. Someone has to be higher. And therefore, in spiritual life, there has to be authority. Because the other person, he'll be seeing more. And that authority will have authority. And he'll have. And it goes on like that. And Krishna is the final authority. But it has to be because that person is seeing, others don't see. This is how one can come out. He has to take shelter of another person who is not under this, who is not in this. So, of course, for all of us to come out, we have three sources. What are they? Paramatma, Guru, and Shastra. So from inside, Krishna gives guidance and inspiration. Dadami Buddhi Yogam. From externally through Shastra and through the Guru. Krishna will guide. Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's explained. Maya Mugda ji nahi swata Krishna Gyan Jivera Kripa Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. That the Jiva on his own cannot get knowledge. So taking mercy on the Jiva, giving mercy, having compassion, Jivera Kripa Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. He has given the Vedas and Puranas. And the Vedas are not part of this material world. Therefore they are known as Shabda Brahm, transcendental sound. This material world has many sounds, many sights, but they're part of this material world. We artificially have become part of this material world. Because of Krishna's energies, we are made to think. Otherwise, everything is Jad. Only thing that is not Jad is Veda. Because Veda is Shabda Brahm, spiritual. It's a spiritual vibration captured now in text. And Mahamantra also. Harinam Chintamani explains that this material world is a hollow shell. Everything here is Jad, except us, but we don't know that. Only thing that is not Jad is the holy name. Nama Chintamani Krishnas. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So, only the holy name can pull us out. Because it's not Jad. Or another Jiva who comes who is not influenced, he can pull us out. Otherwise, everything here is Jad. It's not a place to be. It's very distressing for someone. A person, he knows a certain language, following a certain culture, used to certain things, goes to a foreign country, doesn't know language, culture, nothing, cannot connect. It's kind of distressing, something annoying. So in the same way, for us, this is annoying. We cannot perceive on one level, but we are disturbed. We are not satisfied. We're in a disturbed condition. Jivera Kripa Kaila, Krishna has given the Vedas. Now here we see a typical example how our vision, we're not seeing something, but we'll not be able to see. But the Veda is telling us that what we call as suffering or enjoyment in this material world is just happening in the mind, and the super soul within is creating that sensation to think I'm enjoying or suffering. How? By entering into the bodies of the living entities. Krishna, not directly Krishna. His material energies have captured the mind. Indriyanam manobuddhir asya adhisthana uchyate. Calm resides in mind, senses, intelligence. That's how, actually, this is how we see and interact and perceive the world. Through mind, senses and intelligence. I'll interact with my eyes, ears, then senses will engage. Exactly the contact points Maya has covered. So we are covered. So what we see as knowledge is not, what we perceive as happiness, sadness is not, because it's covered. We cannot tell actually what is happiness. We will never experience happiness, but some artificial inside happiness is created. For example, like you may have a hole completely covered, a big hole, and this is very common in the West. So during winter there's no sun, or it'll be sun for 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes whole day no sun. That's how it is in the northern hemisphere. It's perpetually dark. So they light up the place so brightly to make it think it's day, in the daytime. Otherwise, because of the darkness, we all become sleepy. That's natural. Everything is lighted up. Then you perception of daylight. So similarly, actually we don't have any perception of reality or happiness, but we're made to think this is happiness, this is reality, through this artificial arrangement. So the contact point that we are having to interact with the world is covered. And in an example, Prabhupada gives example, if I tie a cloth on your tongue and I give you gulab jamun, can you taste? No. But you'll get some drop, some remote sweet drop, it will come there. Similarly, that is the condition we are in. We cannot be happy because our senses are covered. So now only through Shastra we can know this. By mercy of Krishna, we can know these points. Otherwise, we're in the middle of it, no one will know. We cannot know. We cannot also say, I'll come out on my own without Krishna. No, he gives the knowledge. Inside, knowledge is manifested by him, and he'll not do it because we are not following the correct procedure. So it will not be proper for us. So the way to come out, we have to get captivated by Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, in text 6, Krishna writes, Prabhupada writes, well, Krishna also wrote something. That verse is there. Natad bhasete suryuna shashankara pavaka yadgatva na nivartanta tadhama paramamama. So there are a few mentions of Param Dhama is mentioned. Or in some places it's called Param Padam or Sanatan Dham. Some glimpses are given in Bhagavad Gita, which is elaborated in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the Bhagavad Gita expanded. So glimpses are given. It's not mentioned in detail about the nature of the spiritual world, but Prabhupada in the purport explains. Krishna is there, and his energy, he is in his Leela, and his appearance, bedecked with a peacock feather, yellow cloth, body of eternality, knowledge and bliss. So this is explained. And then Prabhupada writes, one should be captivated by this information. We are not captivated. We may be little, but generally people are not captivated. But Prabhupada is saying that the condition is, the normal condition is one should be captivated. I'm not captivated. Okay, then you must be captivated with this material world, which is not captivating. But inside Krishna cheats us because we want to be cheated, that this is captivating. It's not. But because we are not captivated by Krishna, so the way now is that we have to become captivated, we have to become captured by this information. And how will that happen? Krishna has given the instructions through Shastra, through the Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound. He has given the ways how to come out of this illusion. And when we come out of the illusion, then it's not a question of physical geographical location. Because, I don't know, I can't remember the verse, but Mahaprabhu explained that Moraman Vrindavan, that wherever I am is Vrindavan. Because my mind is always on Krishna. So it's not a question of physical location. We may be located here, but the Vrindavan, it is Vrindavan for us because we are not under those energies of matter, and Krishna is not deluding us and our senses, and we are not seeing this world as something enjoyable. So it's not a question of going anywhere. We say back to God, yeah, we'll go also. But even if we're here, we're in Vrindavan. Vrindavan means Krishna is the center. So as when we are told in Nectar of Devotion about the 5 great forms of The 64 forms of bhakti are given. Out of them, 5 are principal. What are they? Holy name. Mathuravas. Bhagatravan. Shrimute Shade Sevan. And association. So then this shloka is there, which is again, this is given an act of devotion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, practically everything is repeated. Mahaprabhu spoke, therefore they wrote these books, 6 Goswamis. So Mahaprabhu says, Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagat Shravan Mathuravas Shivurtera Shradaya Sevan. The 5 forms of devotion which are so powerful, it says that Sakala Sadhana Shresht E Pancha Sangha. That out of all the forms of sadhana bhakti, these 5 are so powerful. Association with holy, with devotees, chanting the holy name, Mathurava, staying in a holy place, then Bhagat Shravan, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, and worshipping the deity with faith. Shri Murtera Shradhaya Sevan. Sakala Sadhana Shash E Pancha Sangha. Krishna Prema Janma E Panchera Alpa Sangha. Even one of them, if we focus on little, it awakens Krishna Prema. So now the Shastra tells us, and the Acharyas come and tell us how to come out of this situation where we are artificially covered and not able to perceive reality and Krishna. But we understand, okay, now through Shabda, transcendental knowledge, that I have to be attracted by Krishna. How can I become attracted to Krishna? This is the big question. This is the question. Not what is the rate of the stock market and who's the next government, or any other question we may have. What is the weather today? These are questions, but really we have to focus on the main question, is how to come out of this illusion in such a way that we don't have to ask the other questions anymore. What is the weather? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to perceive it. Whether it's hot or cold, it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, for one who has conquered the senses. Jitatma prashantasya. Actually, conquering senses, then the Paramatma is, what is that? Paramatma samahitaha. One comes close to the Paramatma. Jitatma prashantasya, Paramatma samahitaha. Shitoshna sukha dukheshu. So such a person is not affected by cold and heat. Shita and Ushna. Shitoshna and sukha dukha. He is not affected by sadness and happiness. Tata mana pamana, and honor and dishonor. He is not affected. So the question is how to come on that platform such that I don't have to ask any other questions now. That I'm on this platform, what is the weather, what is the political scenario, what is the inflation rate? I don't care because I'm not on that platform. But I may care just for my preaching purposes when I'm propagating. So to come on that platform, we have to practice sadhana bhakti. So these 5 are the main. So through sadhana bhakti, one gets spontaneous attraction. We cannot spontaneously now come on that, artificially come to spontaneous attraction or pretend to be there. But that is given by sadhana bhakti. So regulated chanting, regular association with devotees, hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, residing in a holy place, and Srimurtira Shradaya Sevan, taking part in Archan, even just being present during the worship, that's taking part. Now that we have to establish a deity in our own place. So by coming in contact with Krishna and being attracted, so we are not attracted, this will attract. In many of these forms of Bhakti, Prabhupada explains, for example, let's say, like in Archan, process of Archan, we have experienced that we go to Mayapur and during the Darshan Arati, when the deity, the Darshan opens, it's blissful. And that vision, the day we attend that, the whole day is different. If we don't attend that second, then it's a different day. It's not the same. But also, to properly appreciate that, we have to have come from Mangalarti and attend and get purified and come on a level such that the deity darshan opens and we get attracted and we get captivated. So it's through those purification methods that we can actually come to a level to be attracted by Krishna. We have that experience. And if sometimes we are busy, or we're not able to be there at that point, so it's a different day, it's not the same. But Prabhupada explains that if we see the deity and get and admire and admire, glorify, praise, oh, wow, how beautiful, what a decoration. Then Prabhupada said, if you do this, then we'll stop getting attracted to other outside, external, material sense objects. Gradually. If we keep every day seeing the deity, so even coming and seeing the deity, this is a big thing. It's a big thing. Actually, I was not used to deity worship. So when I first came, and I saw the other forms of worship and deity, I couldn't understand what I'll come before the deity. Right? But holy name I understood, it's engaging. Reading I could, but I couldn't connect. But through philosophical understanding of Prabhupada, I understood that the thing is, we have to be attracted by Krishna's form. That will happen if we come in daily and see. But when the deity is decorated so beautifully and we come and we admire, then we lose the taste to admire anything outside. And for the pujari, or anybody engaged in dressing the deity, it could be the person, maybe treasurer of the temple, giving the money, or the temple president guiding, or the guru, or the actual pujaris who are dressing the deity. By dressing the deity, they lose all interest to dress themselves. We are wearing simple cloth, but some people are compelled to dress very nicely and to look very nice. But we see those who are advanced devotees even say now, okay, we are in ashram or in ISKCON, we dress like that. But there's some people who are not concerned so much with outside appearance. That means inside they're peaceful, they're not so disturbed or not compelled so much, I have to look good. So now one who is dressing the deity, he loses that interest. So in this way, interaction with the deity, focus on the deity, we lose interest of ourselves. So Shastra inside, Shastra guides us from outside, then Sri Guru guides. Sri Guru is actually Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru is Paramatma. Paramatma from within is giving guidance. But we're not on that level because we are not Jitatma. We didn't control the senses. So the senses are dictating what to do. We are listening to dictation of senses. If we stop listening to the dictation of senses, then Paramatma Samahita, then Paramatma gives the guidance. And from inside, Paramatma will guide us where to go, what to do. So at that stage, then we'll not be captivated by this material world. So the method is given here, how to come to that level. And the Jeev is supposed to take this guidance and come out. This is the purpose of the human life. We have to again become captivated by Krishna. Dress the deity, admire the deity, take prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, associate with devotees, reside in a holy place. Holy place is where Krishna is the center. Krishna is the center of that place and object of worship. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.